Yeah, in this video we're talking about CSS combinators. Okay, so I will start by creating a HTML structure. Then inside our HTML structure, then we'll come to body elements. Inside this element, let me do it this way. We have about 4 CSS combinators, and all of them have their um, three have their own symbol. One is just a spacing. Okay, a white space, single white space. Okay, so we have descendant combinator, we have child combinator, we have adjacent sibling combinator, we have general sibling combinator. Okay, so to do that, let me say header one. Let me do it this way. I think it will be much better. Let me say hash one, header one. Inside this header one, let me make it an uppercase by giving the header one a direct uppercase. This thing. Let me say hash one, enter. Okay, so the first one we have is let me make sure this thing is refreshing. Okay, inside the first one we have descendants. uh what is the spelling? This, I think, DS descendants, yeah, that is the spelling for descendants. Yeah, it's descendant combinator. Let me use, I think I should use uppercase here, so it will look a little bit different, so it will make sense. In other words, I know don't need this header one big this thing. Let me remove it. And replace it with small. Replace it with small one. Hash one. Okay. So I'll use a block letter uppercase. Okay. Say descendant. Descendant. Yeah, this is the spelling for descendant. Descendant. I think I'm right in the spelling. Descendant. Okay. Descendant combinator. Combinator. Descendant combinator. Okay. Combinator. Okay. So what I will now do, I want to add the symbol. And what I will now do is since we're having this screen, otherwise if we're using the bigger screen, we could have more space. So what I will now do here, let me see whether this thing will work. Okay, then I'll have to readjust my screen here. I'll have to readjust this screen. Okay, then um this thing will not give me what I want. Let me do it normal. What I will now do, I think, let me use header 2 and see what it will give me. How about header 2? Yeah, I think this is more perfect. Let's use header 2. So I will have more space here to add the symbol, and I'll add the symbol with a span. And it will be an inline. So I will say span, not block letter but lowercase, span. Inside this span now, I will now add the symbol. It's not any symbol, it's just ordinary white space, but I'll give it a background color so it will represent that. Let me give it a white space. Inside this white space, let me give it a styling. Just want to illustrate what I want to say. Let me say background color of red. Let me use red as the background color. Let me say red. It's supposed to not outside but inside here. Then say red. Okay, let me use this word now here instead of, because the background is will be targeting. Let me use a border. If I add a border now, let me see the difference now. Let me say border. Let me use border. Border of let me use let me say width of, not this. Even if I use border now, how will it look like? I have to give it, if I try this, if it not work, I will just light test inside. Okay, let me say solid border solid. Okay, I think we're not getting to what I want a little bit. I think this symbol now, I don't know what let me say, let me just select color here and see what it gives me. Okay. I think this will make a little bit sense. It makes sense. Let me give it, let me say 2 pixels. Say 2 pixels. Space. How about 3 pixel? Let me give. It's supposed to space out from this. What's it called? Let me space it out a little bit from the body. Let me say break. If I put BR here now, what will happen? So move to the next line, which is not what I want. Okay. You know what we're going to do now is let's create this span. We need the span, but let's create this thing that we write inside here. We write inside here. Let's screen it all. Okay, let's complete the tag for this span. Okay. So what we are going to do now, let me just type in the word. Let me say inside this place is a space. Is a white space. Let me use that word so it will be more easy for us to go with. So white space. Okay. Then let me put a bracket so as to differentiate it from the main one. So shift backspace. Okay. I think this will make a little bit space, a little bit sense. Okay. Then let me just give it a text color. It's not necessary. Let me leave the text color. Okay. Then under it, let me just okay. Let me just let me list all of them and then put their symbol and then add some text inside and just give before we start explaining the differences. Okay, so do that. I will highlight this one, this header. I forgot to put 2 here. 2 supposed to be here. Header 2. Okay, let me highlight this one. Then I will duplicate it up to, we have about 4 CSS combinators. So we have to create more. We'll duplicate up to more 3 places to make it 4. 1, 2, 3. So it's now 4. 4 of them. Then this one now, the second one is the second combinator is child combinator. Okay, this one will be child. Why did I remove this combinator? Control C. Inside the header, where is that header? Where is it? Where is it? This is the first one. Okay, this is the second one. Okay, inside this place, I will not paste the. No. Let me just do this for the sake of time. Then inside this place, I will not paste this one. Then in the front before it, I will not type in child to be in block letter. In block letter, say child combinator. You can see that. Okay. So then inside this place, let me clean off. This one is what I need. Then the second span is not needed, which is this one here. Is not needed. So this one is for this. Where does it end? This combinator. This is the span, and then this is another span that I do not need. I'll clean this off. Okay. Then where is this one coming from? Then inside this our header 2, we have this white. Okay, then this is our, let me space this thing out to avoid confusion here. Then this is the closing tag. This one is complete. Then our second header, header, we have what do we have again? We have our opening tag, have our span inside. Then we'll space this out here. Space it out. This is for our second one. Okay, this is our second one. Then this third one now, this is our header one. Okay, I think we not, this is the one that would not need. We clean this thing off. We wipe this one so it will remove that unnecessary Okay, yeah, we're now okay. Then let me also space this one out. Okay, okay, so it will not interfere with what we are doing here. Okay, enter, enter. Okay, then let me put br to space them out in the browser. Say br for break, br. Then here again I'll put br for breaks for spacing. Then here br. Then coming down here, okay, there's no need for putting br down here. Okay, now inside this place now, this is the child, this is the child, this is a child combinator. So I'll put this, the symbol is a greater than sign. Okay, that's the sign. Then let's come down here. Then the next one is, let me create this thing. The next one is adjacent. Adjacent. Create this one. Yeah, adjacent. I think that's the correct spelling. Adjacent. Okay, that's adjacent sibling call. So adjacent sibling, adjacent sibling combinator. Okay, this is the word for the second one. Then the symbol for this one, it have a sign which is plus sign. Add that plus sign. Okay, then the last one is let me clear this descendant. Then the last one is sibling, general sibling, general, general sibling, sibling, yeah, general sibling. Okay. Then the symbol is this thing. I don't even really forgot the name of this symbol, but it's this symbol here. This symbol you are seeing here, that is the symbol for it. Okay. So the reason why I take time to do all these things, so that I will add I will add an element like list. I'll use list to illustrate this element CSS combinator. I'll use list inside these places. So each one that we are discussing, you will see the what is it called, the combinator that we are using and its effect under it. Each one you see the effect under it. So to do that, let me add list and then we move to our CSS. So under this our descendant combinator, let's use ordered list. If I use on ordered list, it will not make sense to me. Let me use ordered list on inside. Let me use lowercase. I don't like this thing. Let me use lowercase. Let me say ordered list on. Inside our ordered list, let's have let's say we use our I, which is our list. It will be numbered. Okay, our list, you can see it's numbered now. Okay, okay, with this I will remove this break will come under this our this to come the br will come under here, so it will look more, yeah, it will make more sense. Okay, so under this place, inside this place now, let me just add something inside this our list. Let me just say I think I'll use a general word, so it will not take much of our time. Let me say something like hello world, or let me say hello everyone. Hello everyone. I think this will make sense. Hello everyone. Then let me duplicate this up to four lists. Okay, so to do that, I will just highlight it, then shift alt down arrow key up to 4 places. Okay, so the reason why this thing is numbering it automatically, you can just go and watch our either HTML or CSS list. You understand why this thing is numbering. So moving ahead, we have done this. Okay, then we'll copy this. I'll just copy it and paste it. I don't need to redo it again. Let me just copy it. So we'll not spend much time in this video. So control C to copy it. Then let's paste it on in other elements. Inside this our child combinator, we paste it in between the closing tag of header 2 and the opening tag of Blake. So paste it here. Okay, then this for the second one. Then this one we'll do the same thing here. So here the same thing. Then coming down, then this place we also do the same thing here. We'll just paste it under this place. Okay, let's scroll down and see how it looks like. Okay, this looks perfect to what we want. Okay, okay. I want to do something. I want to put this I want to add color to these symbols, to each symbols, this white space, this symbol, so that it will stand out from that text. So I want to do that. It might take me a little bit time, but I have to do it. I have to do it. But doing it, I will add internal CSS to do it. Then it's not. Let me use inline. Inline will be more. Inline will make it make more sense. Inside this one, let me say I don't want to target the bracket, so I just want only the word inside. Then I can put the bracket after the span and closing tag element and before it. Okay, not this one, clean this one. Okay, this is what I want. Okay, let me reduce the white space. Okay, it makes a little bit sense now. Then inside this span, let me just add it. Let me say style color. Let me use green color for all of them. Let me say green color, or any color that's okay. Green will make sense. Let me say green and see what it looks like. Okay, I think the color is now standing out, but the green seems to be a little bit dull. Let me use a color. Let me say something like a golden. Let me say golden lodge color. Yeah, I think it's a bit, it makes sense. Then let me copy this style and paste it inside our span, so I will not waste time typing it again. So I'll say control C to copy it. Then coming down inside our inside our child uh, span element, we now add it there. Okay, then coming down to our adjacent sibling combinator, add it in our span, control V. Okay, then coming down to our general sibling, is our combinator, so we add it here, control V. Then we don't want the bracket to be inclusive, we just want only the symbol to be inclusive, so we add the brackets here. Then and before the span we also add the brackets. For the span opening tag we add the opening one. Okay, then we do the same thing in all of them. Let's go up. Let me remove these signs, this brackets, and then put it after the span. I'm having double span, which is not supposed. This is not supposed to be here. Okay, and then add this one here. Then before the span, add another one. Clean this one. We just need only one. Okay, let me balance it more. Let me balance it. Balance it. So there will be no. Why am I seeing this white space here? Why is the white space there? I think it's from the inside. Let me see. Let me space it out. Okay, yeah, let it be this way. Okay, then going up, then remain only this one. So let me remove those brackets. Remove this one. Remove this bracket. Then put it before the closing tag head 2. Then put another one before the span. For the span. Okay, I think it's better now, but let me just give it that small space. Where is this one? Let me give it that small space, and then let me also do the same thing in the white space. This white space here, and then space here. Okay, so this is what I want to do now. I think it's making a little bit sense. Let me use the full screen. Okay, it's making a little bit sense now. So without this now, I don't think we might just do it and launch, but I just want to make sure I do this thing in detail. Okay, so to apply the combinators, to apply them in this our listed elements here. So I will do something like this inside. Then inside our CSS, I think I'm done with HTML. The only thing I need to do now, I have to link my CSS file. You can watch my video on how to link CSS file. You can check our CSS insert video to see how to insert our CSS external file. So I'll do that by linking the CSS file inside this href dot backward slash. Okay, the external CSS is now linked on style. Yeah, it's now linked. Okay, so any design we are doing now will be in our CSS file, and you'll see the results here. Okay, okay, okay. So what next am I to do now? So I think what I'll do now, since I this CSS, do I really need to give it any span here? I think it's necessary, because to illustrate this thing, I really need span inside here. I really need span inside this place, and even what's it called? Um, let me use span. We use span inside some of these tests. Okay. So how am I going to do? How am I going to do this span now? Which one am I to target now? Okay, I'll do it this way. So I'll grab this span here. Let me just copy it. I don't want to waste time here. Let me target this second one. Control V, and then make use of the first one. Control C, then paste it here. Okay, then remove this backward slash. Okay, what this thing simply means that let me give space between two of them for illustration purpose. Okay, what this thing does is that it's still the same list, but the difference is that this is our second list in the descendant component, which is this one. This number 2 now is inside the span. Okay, when we start the style, you see the reason why we do that. Okay, so inside our CSS, we start with this descendant combinator. Okay, to do that, to style this our descendant combinator, we'll say something like this our h2 is not inclusive. What we are focusing on is this inside this ordered list. Then inside the list, that's what we use to do the illustration. So to do that, to make use of descendant list, and the symbol for it is white space. White space is giving. Let me remove this white space here. It's true. Let me remove this white space. Let me just because that's why it looks as if is there something. Nothing is there. Let me remove that. That's this white space. Let me just remove it. Let me just remove it. It's just only one. Only just uh, okay. It's just an empty space. Just kind of white space, meaning just giving a space. Okay, so let's start with ordered list on, which is our ordered list, which contains this this list now is inside this ordered list. Okay, so if I want to style all of them, I'll say something like with this order list, which is element selected, I can just do something like this now for illustration purpose. Let me say color. Let me color the whole text color. Let me give all of them red color. Let me say red. You can see ordered list. I think I mess up here because is affecting the whole span. It's supposed to give them classes, so it will not interfere with each. All of them will be unique. Okay, that's exactly what I would do. Let me do that here. Now I remember I'm supposed to do that here. Let me give each of those other list a let me give it a class. Let me give it a class name of let me say let me just say OL1, which is other list 1. I think this will make more sense. Then instead of this way, it will not affect other ones. In this class, what I will not do, to make sure to, if I want to call this particular class now, okay, what I will now do, I will just say dot onl1, it will affect only this first one. Okay, this is what I want to do, so it will not affect other ones. So when I get to other ones, I'll also give them a unique class. You can use ID, but I prefer class. Okay, so the next thing I will do now is to illustrate this white space here, how to use this descendant combinator. Okay, so to do that, now we are inside this our class. Now this is our class. So what if I want to target only one, I want to style only one of this list? So what I have to do now, unless I use class, since I not use class, I use span to uh, I put this element inside the this list element, the second element inside the span. What I will now do, I'll just say space. This white space now means giving one space, and then type the name of the element containing the text that you want. So for me, the second one, which is span, so I will just say span. It will style only the second one. You can see that to just style only this second one. That's what this what's it called again, this descendant combinator does. It's just style only that one. But if even if we, what if we remove this class here, remove it inside this span? If we remove it inside this span, let me say something, let me do something like this. If we remove it inside this span, and then inside this our list, we make this thing unique, because the reason why we put this span is just to differentiate it from other lists. If we give it a unique class, okay, and let me use id, so let me use id for list, and then for ordered list with class, and then the main list id. So let me say id, let me give it the id name of list 1. Let me just call it list 1 for the no, list 2, because it's list 2 is, we're targeting the number 2. Okay, so if I come here now and just give space and say when you use id, remember to put your hash before you put the name of the id. RI2, it will still target that same 2. You can see that, so that is how descendant combinator white space work. Okay, that is the illustration for descendant white space. Okay, so we are done with the first one, which is the descendant combinator. So move to the next one, which is child combinator. So give let me space it out, then let's come down to that, let's scroll up. So we are now in the child combinator. So we do it the same way. For ease, what we have to do, we just add class here. We give this our ordered list a class name. Let me give it a class name of on ordered list 2, because it's the second one, ordered list 2. Then inside our ordered list, then we have our lists. So inside this our list, we have about 4 lists. In this place, we'll be targeting which one should I use now to illustrate this thing now, so it will be more well understood now. Okay, okay, let me do it this way now. Let me give this one okay, let me give the second one, id. Let me give it id name of list 2. Okay, then the second one, let me give it an id of no id, let me just put it inside a let me say span, inline span. Okay, let me put inside span, okay, let me grab it, Control X, and then paste it inside this place. Okay, now it's now inside the span. I need to do this for so you can understand what this child combinator does. Okay, so under this place now, we are illustrating child combinator. So inside this one, what we are going to do now is we have our class name. What's the class name again? OL2. So we say OL2 dot OL2, sorry, OL2. So we now use this our symbol. this symbol here, this greater than symbol here, use it here, shift greater than space. Then give we now target let me just target this I want to this thing will make more sense if I use how will I do this so this will be well understood well now, so it will be well understood. How will I do this now? Okay, I figure out a way to do this now. Let me create this span now. The span now will be let me put it inside the list. If I put it inside the list, then I will not remove this ID because this ID is of no use in this child combinator, because now I remember is of no use. It will be even bring more confusion. Okay, what I will now do, I will add okay, inside this place now, because the span does not need to be inside, so I will now create external, and I will create another span here. Okay, let me duplicate this and change its element to span. Let me say span. Okay, let me call this one span as well. Okay, I think this will make more sense, although it does not have list. It does not have list, it's just under here. Okay, I purposely do that. Okay, but it still follow the same pattern of this thing. The difference is that it does not have number. Okay, now if we do this thing now, what this child simply means that it will only give this it will only give property and value to its dialect child. Okay, with this thing now, you are dialecting, you are sending this with this allo, you are giving dialect property and value to the child that you specify with this allo. So let me say span now. Let me say span. Inside span, I will now open this declaration block and say color. Let me say color and give it a blue color. Let me say blue color. You can see now, you can see the color is now blue. You can see the color is now blue. Okay, what if we say we use another span now inside a list like this one now, inside the list now, kind of, let's use the span and let's put this let me use second one. This second one now, I put the span inside this one, and then the span, instead of this kind of, I'll just target only this everyone. Okay, let's see what will happen. Let's say span span, then let's put our greater than, then let's also put our backward slash, and then we'll now put our this thing here. Okay, then inside this, before everyone, let's also put the span there. Okay, so this is what I want to illustrate now. So you can see I need to space this thing out. I don't want this thing to be confusing. I want to space this thing out. Okay, I really want to space this thing out. Okay, this thing is very, very, very important. That's why I'm taking my time to explain this thing. This thing is very, very important, especially for programmers. This, you really need this. You need to understand this thing in detail. Okay, this is the list. Okay, this is my list, and then I have, okay, let me space them out. Okay, then this one is, where is this one? Here is the list. Here this one will space out. Then this one is together one. Okay, then I think it's well understood now. So this one now is a list, the list that we created. Then the second one is where we add our span. We use span is an inline element, so we use it to target this everyone. Okay, then this place now, everyone is still the normal list. Then this one is the normal list. Then we add external element with span outside. Okay, so what we're going to do now, you see that this span now is, there's span element here, but this child combinator is not seeing this span inside this list. Reason is because it's not a direct child of this ordered list. It's not a direct child of it because there's another element. It's inside another element. Okay, but let's remove this now and do. Let me just sorry about this. Let me just do something like this now. Let me remove this and do it a descendant. Let me use a descendant combinator. You see the difference now. I think this is a span. I think dot OL2 dots. We're supposed to give me. It's supposed to target this two. Why is it not targeting it? Why? Tell me why you are not targeting it. This is a span. Oh, that's a very big catastrophic error here. I created a span with that is empty. Okay, so I'll have to remove this closing tag of this first span. So it will be where is it again? Uh, this is hello. Okay, then this one now will remove this everyone. I'll still put it. This is my span now. Okay, inside this my span, I'll now say that everyone. Okay, you can see that. So with this descendant combinator now, this everything calls span here. Even if you put it inside, even if four elements is inside four elements, kind of what I mean inside four elements, if you put another element outside, another element, and then you put span inside to target a particular text, this descendant will locate that span. Once it's seen span inside its inside its what is it called, inside its element, it must surely pick it and give it that color. Okay, so but with this child combinator here, once you put that sign, once you put this sign now, this greater than sign here now, it will only look for its child because it will not go inside any element to look for its span. Okay, it will look for the one that is its own, which is this one now that is not enclosed with any element, with any element like this one. This one is, this span now is inside a list element. Okay, let me space this out so it will, okay, it's better. Yeah, it's better this way. So this one now, this span now is inside this list element, while this one now is outside. So this one is the child of this ordered list. That is why it just goes straight and pick it. Okay, I think I've explained this better with this what's it called, with this illustration. So we are done with child combinator. So let's move to uh, adjacent sibling combinator. Okay, so in this one now, I'll be using ID. I'll add ID here. This is ordered list. So inside, let's go to the next one, next place. Let me give this I'll be giving this ordered list an class. Then the list will be ID. Let me give this one now, let me give it a class name of, let me give it a class name, let me give it a class name of, let's say that same OL3 ordered list 3. Okay, then inside this place now, I will give them ID, or is it really necessary? Let me give the second one ID so I can quickly explain these things. So shift, okay, not this one, ID. Let me give it ID name of let me say, which number is it? This is number 2. Let me say list 2, this RI2. Okay, this is the ID for it. Okay, we're talking about adjacent sibling combinator now. Okay, so what we're going to do next now is to come to this our CSS and then dot ol, which is this ordered list 3. Oh no, we have already done 2. We are in 3. This accent is number 3, so use ID 3. We've already used this list. We already use, no, sorry, I'm still light, I'm still correct. So the class is here. Look at the class OL3. So OL3, the class name for this our adjacent sibling. So inside we'll use a plus sign, which is this plus sign. Okay, so what that will do is, let me just scroll up. Okay, we have an ID of enlo2. This enlo2 represents this second one, this second one, this number two. That's why I use number two. Okay, so we are now in this adjacent sibling combinator. So inside this, once we put this we say dot class name for this adjacent sibling, then we'll say, let me use id first. Let me start with id. We'll say something like, call the id name of the list. Let's say id, the id name list, list what again, list LI2. Okay, that's the list 2. Then you say something like you give space, let's say plus, let me say list is an element within the first one, and then open our, I will explain, let me do it and then I will explain. Then inside this one, let me just call the color property, then give it a color of, let me use a color that will be more bold. Let me say something like brown. Is brown bold enough? Is brown bold enough? I'm not sure whether, let me give this thing a space here. Think, yeah, I think this is what I want. Okay, I think the color is there, but it's not visible. The color is not that visible. I don't know whether you can see this color. Let me make it, let me use the same. Which color will be most visible now? Here, let me use let me use purple. Purple will be more visible. Purple color, I think it will be more visible. Yeah, it's visible, but it's not that visible. Let me use lead. Yeah, we have already used lead, but let me use it again. I think lead is best. Is the best. Yeah, lead is very visible. You can see the difference now. Okay, so this inside this our inside this adjacent sibling, how it works, how this sign works is as simple as this. This our class name, which is this other list. Where is it? This other list. Let me space this thing out. So this thing is becoming too buggy here. Let me space this thing out so it will help us to understand this thing. But these are adjacent sibling combinator. So let me give space. Then let me scroll up or down. Sorry. Let me scroll this. Let me take it up. Then here now this. Let me space this thing. Let me space this one down. Okay. So we'll be seeing only this one. Then let me space them out so they'll be separate. Avoid confusion. Then this one now, inside our other list, this one now, this is the container. Then this is the container. This is the container. Okay, let me take this break down so it will not interrupt us. Okay, I think it's well spaced out now. Okay, so okay, even this place itself, I still need to do small thing here. Let me space this. Let me space these ones out one at a time. Let me space these ones out. Okay, then let me add double so there'll be difference. Okay, so looking at this now, I think is well spaced out now and well organized now. So what we did here now is as simple as this. This is our header one, so we have nothing to do with this one. So we're looking at this our ordered list. We're looking at this our ordered list. This is our ordered list. So it contains these lists inside. It contains this list inside. Okay. Now, what this adjacent sibling combinator does is that what it does, to start with that, just know that this class now, this o.o3 here is the class name for this ordered list, which contains this one. Okay. Then this name you are seeing here now, hash arrow2 arrow I2 is this ID here, number 2. Okay, so this arrow hash arrow I2 is the ID name for this number 2. This hash here just means way of calling an ID in CSS. It doesn't mean more than that. Okay, you can also make this one a class if you want. Just put dot hello I2. Okay, now what this plus does is that from what it simply means, from this one now, from the list 2, which is from this list 2 now. This is the list 2. It's not colored. From the list 2, let me think. From list 2 plus NLI. It simply means that jump NLU2, jump this, the one closer to the class, and start coloring from the next one. That's what it simply means. Start coloring from start, or let's say just give the property and the value to the next one. That's what it simply means. For instance, now if I add, I can add another this thing here. I can add so I can add another this thing in the front of this one. I can just add something like this thing here. I can add plus list again. Let's say plus list. You can see it will jump the you know what? Okay, yeah, it will jump the third one. So first of all, it will jump the second one, jump the third one, and then come to the fourth one, which is this one now. The last one, it will color the fourth one. That's what it simply means. I can even remove this ID name. Let me remove this ID name, so this thing will not be. Let me do this thing this way. This is the best way I could have done this. Let me do something like this. Let me say if I do I now, it will not give me what I want. I need that ID because we need the ID to tell it where it will start from. We definitely need that ID. We really need it. What if we want to start from the first one, for it to jump the first one and count and start coloring from 1 and 2? So what we have to do now is to let's add ID here. Say ID, enter. Inside the ID we'll give it let's say LI1 list 1. Okay, so just all we have to do, just come here, give space, put your ID name, hash the ID name LI1, then the coloring will start from number 3. But if we remove this one, it will start coloring from number 2. So what it does is that after class name, okay, after the class name, it will jump it will just jump the first one. It will just jump anything that you put in the first, after class, anything that is close to the class will be jumped. Once the plus is there, it will just jump those ones to the next one. Okay, it's just following anything that, how am I doing today? Once you see a plus sign, the next element that is close to the plus sign, that is in the front of, that is next in the front, that is in front of the plus sign, is what will be colored. As simple as that. I think it makes sense now. Okay, so if we if I remove this plus now and put this plus here and put it here, let me say immediately after the class, and put plus here, let's see what will happen. Let me give space here. Let me close this one. How about this place? Okay, no, don't think it will work that way. It will not work that way. Let me still give this space and put the plus sign here. Okay, by default, it's just to, by default it will just color the first one. But once you put plus, you can just decide, maybe in your coding you might just decide to work with list 4. You want to add some attribute to list 4. Maybe let's say I want to add font size to this list 4 now. All I have to do now is just add that plus sign, the plus sign, and then I'll count. I'll do I'll do another plus. I will just say list. This list now is this second one. This list now is now this second one. It have jumped the first one, jumped the second, it's jumped the first one, enter the second one, which is this number 2. But I don't want the number 2. All I have to do, I'll just say plus another list again to jump to number 3. I don't want number 3. What I want is number 4, which is, I'll do another list again, which is the final one. But if you put another list here now, let's say shift, if you add another list here, it does not exist, so it will not have any if, unless you add another list. So we'll clear it, also clear this one. So we want to work with the last one. So I want to give the last one other property. Let me just give it a font size so it will be a little bit bold. Let's add a semicolon here, semicolon, then enter. Then inside this place I will say something like let me give font size property, font size, that's ZE, font size, put your colon, then give it a, let me use 2em. You can see the effect. So I have targeted only this one and give it the property that I want. So that is the simple expression I can give for this adjacent sibling combinator. Okay, so the next one we're going to do now is to explain the general sibling combinator, which is this one that have this alternative columns like symbol. Okay, so what I have to do now is to then this one, what I'll have to do now, I'll have to, let me give space and then let me give this one a unique class name. This is our ordered list. Let me give it a class name of, let me give it let me say OL4. We have done OL1 to 3, so we are doing OL4 now. Let's give it a OL4 ordered list 4. Okay, so then we need ID. Let's give ID to number 2 for easy explanation. ID, we give the ID name to, let's say, as usual, as we did in another one, let's give it LI2 list 2. Okay, so let's come to our CSS. So in this our CSS, what we have to do now is to use dot the class name, which is dot onl4, which is this our class name. Let me space this thing out. So okay, let me also space this thing out. Then let me space this one, and then this one, let me space it out. Okay, this one is the container containing the list. Okay, so inside the list we now have the list here. Okay, so this list 2 have ID li2. So to do, we add the list by giving space, then the ID name, what's the ID name, is li2. Okay, then li2 will now put that sign, we now put this symbol here. Okay, so shift, then this is the sign, the symbol here, and then we now say list, and then we now give it a, we now open our declaration block. Then now inside our declaration block, let's give it a property. Let's say color. Inside this color now, let's give it a, I think this red makes sense, but let me use a different color. Let me use that purple. The only difference is that I will increase the font size. Let's say purple. Say purple. Okay. Then let me increase the font size so it will be more visible. Let's say I forgot to put semicolon here. Then semicolon here. Then I will now enter. Say font size. Inside this font size now, let me give it 2em. Okay, I think it's giving me what I want. It's very bold. Now you can see it in the, you can see it here. Okay, so what this one is very straightforward. What this one simply means that um once you add this symbol, how will I do this now? Okay, this is the ID. Now after our class we add this ID. Okay, we add this our ID. This our ID represents 2, this second list. Okay, now what it means is that from these 2 now, just what it means, just ignore these 2, from this place, from this list, from this second, from this element, which is this from third list down, just from this third list down, give them this property and value. That's what this one simply means. Okay, so if we increase the number of this list, let me duplicate that, you see the effect. Let me say shift alt, let's see what will happen. All of them will be inheriting this property. The one that is exempted is this 1 and 2, 1 and 2. Okay, this 1 and 2 is what is exempted. Okay, that is for general sibling combinator. I don't want to waste most of our time. I think I've nailed it as much as I can. Okay, so thank you for watching this video. See you in the next one.